8 major towns. And a population of over 1 million, Cheshire police cars clock up an astonishing 12 million miles a year. So it's no wonder they get into a few scrapes. And keeping this fleet of cars, riot vans, boats and bikes on the road.
That's as close as you get into a siren on a bicycle.
Is the job of the Vehicle Maintenance Unit. If Cheshire Police need to get a beat car back on the road, they'll repair it.
It's like the emergency services version of a Formula 1 pit stop does.
If they need a new riot van, they'll design it. And if they want something that doesn't exist yet, they'll invent it.
I need to turn that into that.
If Cheshire Police were James Bond, these guys are Q.
Would you want to be sat that close with an ordinary window?
Welcome to Cop Car Workshop. Another day at Cheshire's Vehicle Maintenance Unit.
Oh, God, here we go. The Land Rover with the extremely dim headlights.
The big wheel, John Hussey rallies the troops.
These lads are doing all the heavy work, taking all the discs off, and you're just buggering about with a bloody oil can in your hand.
As they brace for another day of repairs, rebuilds and write-offs.
I want to go slow.
Mechanic Mark's day has started with less of a bang and more of a whimper.
The do-do's not working. As some policemen say, you don't get the do-do going down the road.
He's a fine gentleman for coming off his brake and starting that immediately.
Yeah, yours stitched me up, you do.
While Mark is having trouble getting a peep out of his Durder's inside, outside, they're having the entirely opposite problem. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like a daft way to turn on a siren.
Hi, John.
Oh, hi, mate.
Got a bit of a problem with a whaler on a crime car from Congleton, Black 530. Been in 3 or 4 times now. We've changed the whaler twice and we've changed the amp on it at once. It'll run okay for 30, 40 miles and then not work. Leave it for 2 days and it starts again. Struggling really because it's off the road again now.
With the in-house technician so far drawing a blank, John's called in some expert help.
We need to have a look in the rear of the vehicle, empty all the equipment out of the boot, and have a look at the control board, see where the issues lie.
A strong start. Keep it up.
Paul and Phil have come along to sort out a bit of a mystery fault that we've had on the whaler system on this car. They're really good guys because, you know, they build them in the first place. They know the systems through and through.
Should I take that side off there? Hold that there for us a sec.
It's good to have friends in this business.
I think it's the loom at the front.
We're a bit short on our traffic cars at the moment. We've had 1 or 2 off for some big reasons, as well as others that's in for maintenance and repair. So everyone that's back on the road is a big bonus to us.
We've got a connection, which is behind the glove box, that connects the under bonnet harness to the vehicle main harness. So it looks like that's where the issue is.
Despite trying to enter Narnia through the glove box of a BMW 530, the fault remains elusive. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
You're privileged. Not everyone gets this, you know.
Never underestimate the power of a cuppa when it comes to getting results.
Just a bad connection on the mud pole connector. So just put a new connection on there. Test siren again now, make sure everything's okay.
And if there's any doubt about it being fixed...
That's all working fine now.
Now all Paul needs to do is sort out the disaster zone.
Quick, get the dash back in, the boss is here.
Too late!
I'm not going to see how you're doing, actually. I'm just coming down to say, turn that bloody whaler off. I can't hear myself think up there. I'm trying to have some sleep. You all right?
So for that should be all okay now.
This is why we need you, isn't it, eh? Sounds good, if you like that sort of thing.
So just put it all back together now and then
Wonderful, mate.
get back on the road.
You say that, but let's see what happens when you shut the boot, shall we?
I always really want to revert to touching wood or something when I say I don't want to see this car for a little while again, because sometimes you can think that, and then next time you see it, it's on the back of a low loader coming in with only 3 wheels. We hope that this one's going to go out and stay out.
And the moment of truth. Sweet, sweet silence. It's not just unforeseen repairs that keeps the workshop busy. What really puts John and his team under pressure are planned vehicle conversions. While no job is too small, too big, or too bizarre,
That's impressive, isn't it?
turning something ordinary into the extraordinary is guaranteed, at some point to become a massive pain in the proverbial.
We're going to need a load of these. Why the hell have we not been informed?
But today, there's a vehicle conversion challenge that's really got John's motor running.
Hiya, Dave.
Hi, John.
You all right, pal?
Yeah, I brought the van if you want to have a look at it. Got it outside.
Yeah, let's go
Okay.
for it, mate.
David Trussell heads up Cheshire's forensic team, who are currently trundling round in a vintage fleet of Ford Connects.
Here's one of our old trusty CSI vans. As you know, we've got 18 currently on fleet. CSI stands for Crime Scene Investigation. Our CSIs are out in all weathers, covering the 900 square miles of the county of Cheshire, and the vehicles are literally almost falling apart. It's fairly comprehensively kitted out, but of course, as you can see, it's a bit overloaded in terms of equipment. Being a caring manager, as I am, looking after 26 members of an efficient, hard-working CSI department, I want to make the job as easy as possible for them. Our crime scene investigators are a specially trained group of individuals who examine crime scenes, take photographs. They will examine surfaces for fingerprints. They may use disclosing agents if you're looking for things like body fluid. We have a saying, when others are walking away from the crime scene, CSIs are walking towards it. It does take a very special person that can raise themselves above what would normally impact on many other people and do their job.
The crime scene vehicle plays an essential role in transporting vital evidence and delivering it intact to Forensics HQ for processing.
This is a self-contained unit, secure access, because obviously we're working on live cases at the moment. That's our imaging department. We've got images there, things like post-mortems. This is our trace evidence recovery facility. We can say with a level of confidence that that is our DNA-free room. We will deal here with any level of crime type. So if it's a criminal damage, your major crimes, your murders, your robberies. We're now in our specialist footwear lab. So what we're looking at now is an overlay of an impression taken from a training shoe, and it's being overlaid with the impression from the crime scene. I'm still never failed to be impressed in my 36th year of working in forensics of how good the specialists are.
The CSI team may aspire to the very highest standards, but their cramped old vans are making a tough job even tougher.
Yeah, you've grown out of this, really, haven't you?
Here we've got our major scene tent. We've got our stepping plates, and they are really heavy, weighty items. We need space.
Because you wanted something out of that bottom drawer there, or you wanted some of the other kit out, you've got to shift all the rest of it out.
Yeah.
And quite often, the CSIs are carrying that gear in extreme conditions.
It can be cold and freezing, or equally it can be have a lot of sunlight there where you're trying to shield yourself.
You can easily put an awning on the near side, pal. We're looking at a major redesign, aren't we, from the ground up as far as that's concerned. So we're looking at like a standard transit-sized vehicle rather than the Connect, something that's got maybe 30 or 40% more carrying capacity.
Yes, please, would be the answer to that.
My God, how are we going to get all that in there? Quite a lot of work, quite a lot of head scratching.
We'd like 2 types of vans, a marked van and an unmarked van, dependent upon what we're involved in.
Let's start with the fag packet, drawing an idea, turn it into something real and get some builds going, eh?
Yes, please, because I've promised 26 people a new van, and this is the start, so I'm really looking forward to
And
it.
I guess you've mentioned my name, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Yes, John, they've been warned.
What we've got to do is capture now everything that we've had in that conversation and let's turn it into a new vehicle. Really, really quite a big job. Looking forward to this. This is one you can really get your teeth into.
Later,
Look at this!
the scariest smash of the season crash lands in the yard.
Oh dear.
For reference, that's not where the bonnet is supposed to be.
It's absolutely and utterly finished.
Keeping Cheshire's fleet of 750 police cars crime-fighting fit is the job of the Vehicle Maintenance Unit. It's a constant battle.
I've got that much of a gap.
But it's not just fix-ups that keep the team on their toes. They're also responsible for specialist conversions.
There's bits hanging out everywhere, Phil.
But at the very top of their to-do list, a complete overhaul of Cheshire's fleet of outdated forensic vans. Having selected a 40% bigger Ford Transit Custom, the focus now is on optimising the inside space.
It's a case of then, just getting a piece of paper, scribbling that out and saying, gosh, where are we going to put that? How would it look? How would that operate? Gosh, can you reach this? Can you get at that? So, really, it's going to be quite a fight.
After close consultation with David, head of forensics,
OK. Thank you. Bye-bye.
John's scribbles have been transformed into a working design.
The designs are all signed off now and we're all happy. It's about getting the fitters to turn it into reality for us.
The new Transit is shipped to Essex, where the designs have been loaded into a computerised cutting machine, which is producing all the elements needed for the build to begin.
Just fitting the floor. It's non-slip multi-wall. It's rubberised, so you can take any contaminations off with a cloth.
The first of 3 bulkheads, which will create 3 discrete sections of the van, is fitted. Don't forget the magic tap, Daniel.
It's perfect.
Next, super strong lightweight racking.
Okay, bring that down to there.
The fundamental principle of the new design ensures complete separation between clean and dirty zones.
These guys will carry DNA samples, etc., back to the labs and the police stations. So it's utmost importance to stop cross-contamination because this could obviously stop them from actually prosecuting people.
Helping to separate the clean zone at the back is a floor-to-ceiling shelving unit.
Yeah, you ready?
And it might look like an IKEA Billy bookcase, but the fitters have assured us that it's been custom-made and there were no spare bits lying around after they built it.
Then you have to literally start from scratch. You come in here with a pen, pad, tape measure, and you just measure absolutely everything. And you've got to take everything into account. Just fitting the perspex doors and make sure they all line up and secure, so when it's in transit, they don't flap around.
Now we've got the shelving in, we will be fitting the anti-slip mats. May have some expensive tools in here, don't want them moving around. So we put these in, and it stops all of the vibration.
And round the back, Daniel's still admiring his handiwork.
It's amazing, really. In a toolbox, you open it up, everywhere's got a place, and this is what you got here.
It is all about storage. You might say it's a travelling toolbox. It's got drawers and little ledges. There's a lot of thought gone into it. There's a side awning that's been put on.
Do you know what? Those legs are definitely the wrong way around. If we try and roll it back on itself one more time the other way, might just be us.
This is a huge leap forward for the CSI guys. And let's face it, we've started with a clean sheet of paper and actually designed from the ground up what it is that they now need to do their job.
It's looking good. Gold stars all round, lads.
Immensely proud of the work that we can do for the police force. For us, providing the kit for them, it makes us feel proud as well.
Yes, but it's people like you, Dave, who keep the police from taking public transport.
Couldn't do it without us, no. Not at all.
After 4 hours of fitting, drilling, and not reading the instructions properly, the van is near completion, which is just as well because it's needed back up in Cheshire and operational in a week.
There's always pressures with builds. We do have to get things out as soon as possible, purely because of the role of what these vehicles do.
Brilliant. All ready to go. Lovely.
This vehicle's very important. There'll be 8 of these built this year and a further 8 next year. So we've got to get this first one right.
John's got more than the CSI vans to contend with. He's also got to run a very busy workshop. A backlog of repairs has turned up the heat.
So can't we get, like, someone to put the tyres on that for you? Yeah. It's got to take the pressure off if we do that.
And at times like these, everyone turns to the boss for help.
Fire extinguisher. What do you mean? I don't know. Where there's a fire? I don't know. John! Oh, John, can you help me with this? Keys! I want to help people. I want to make sure things are continuing, happening, keeping moving.
But there's one place John can find peace.
Hello?
No, not the men's loo. His office. But within seconds...
Come in.
Hey up, Flower, would you like a wiping down, my lovely?
Come on, baby.
Yeah, it never gets old.
Are you OK?
Yeah, I'm all right. Do you want me to whiz out or stay in here?
You're all right, my lovely. You can stay where you are, Flower.
Karen the cleaner is part of the furniture at the vehicle maintenance unit.
How are you?
I'm all right, my love. Are you? And when you're going away again, Flower?
It's a few months off yet, but still can't wait.
11 years since I last went on holiday.
Oh, God, you're overdue, Karen.
No, I am, darling.
Flipping head, mate. You need to get this sorted out, don't you?
I know.
Karen's one of our superstars. She's been working here for a number of years now.
Oh, I'm going to get smuggled in your suitcase one of these days.
Yeah, OK, yeah.
I will get away.
Wake up in the sunshine.
Yeah.
She's everybody's darling. Everybody loves Karen because of just the way she is and how nice she is.
And the appreciation is mutual.
Oh, it's lovely. He's my little sweet pea. He's dead nice, really kind, caring and jolly.
You are talking about John, the no-messing, frankly slightly intimidating head of fleet services, John.
You know, I'm only the flipping boss. I've got to stand up.
He's not serious all the time, you know. He does have that fun side. He makes you feel a part of everything. When I'm in, I'm still ill anyway. Can't win.
Oh,
They'll get me sorted.
You need
now.
a full service, love. We'll have to get the mechanics to sort you out.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, change your oil and filter. Yeah. When somebody asked a cleaner in the NASA organisation, what do you do? And she said, well, we send astronauts to the moon. It's much the same in here. We're all cogs in a gearbox. It's all about providing vehicles, and we've all got a part to play in it.
But you're not sending astronauts to the moon, John. This is a cop car workshop.
All right then, Flower. I shall see you tomorrow, lovely.
Thank you.
See you in the morning. Bye, love.
Bye-bye.
Out of breath. Getting old.
2 weeks in the med will set you right, Karen. Squeeze into John's suitcase and you'll have a sangria in your hand in no time. As head of fleet services, John has to balance the books. And with pressure on budgets, it's a tough gig.
If you could really work on the turnaround, that would help us no end because we've got a production challenge on them, pal.
Demand for new police vehicles has never been higher. And this season has seen a record number of write-offs.
Brace yourself.
That's dead now, Dave. We've had a high accident rate this year. It's just because we're so busy and active. I don't really like that happening. It goes with the territory.
And these fallen soldiers, building up in the yard, are a sorry sight.
OK, here we are, the Hoosie Row of Shame, locally famous. Lots and lots of cars, unfortunately, lined up here that's met their grief. You can see you've got a vehicle that's been smashed into the back of, one that's front's come back out again, masking the damage. If you divide the number of crashes into the amount of miles that we do about 12 million miles a year. You know, that's an awful lot of use. Imagine how many of those miles are chasing down the bad guys, trying to pull people up, racing to a job where somebody's in danger. Accidents will happen. It's part of the job sometimes, and it goes with the territory.
When it comes to assessing damage, John's learned to never judge a book by its cover.
There's telltales and giveaways of why this would be a write-off. Look at the relationship between the bonnet fit and the front panel. This headlamp has been pushed in so far. See how it's kinked up the edge of the front wing? There's been significant pressure placed on that. And so much so, unfortunately, it's brought that vehicle to the end of its service life. Prematurely.
And the row of shame goes on and on.
There's no masking this one. That's really quite heavy in. Down to a plain vehicle, heavy damage on it as well. That's a really big accident, as is the other plain vehicle here. They need to go. We'll never make them roadworthy again, these vehicles, for various reasons. It's time to make sure we get all the specialist equipment out, they strip them down, make use of the non-safety related parts again. But you know what? As soon as we get vehicles gone from the row of shame, others take their place.
No sooner said than done. Later,
we have a further contestant to the Hoosey Row of Shame. It's got a repair estimate of £12,500. Marvellous, that's another one bites the dust.
it's the end of another busy day for most of the vehicle maintenance team.
See you in the morning. See you tomorrow. Have a nice evening, you too.
But for second-in-command Dave, the day is far from over.
OK, it's just early evening now, and I'm just heading over to the driver training school, just at the other end of the site. They're going to go out and do some blue light runs. Hopefully good to see our vehicles in action, really, and what they go through in training the officers.
As well as updating old cars and fixing current ones, the vehicle maintenance unit also have to keep tabs on how their vehicles are performing out in the field.
If you're approaching that junction and that's been red, is that red light hindering you? So what do we not want this traffic to do?
The perfect place to get close to the action is at Cheshire's Driver Training School, which puts wannabe blue light instructors through their paces.
What we're trying to do with this course is raise the level of their driving to a very high standard. We need to equip them with the skills necessary to be 4, 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of the students.
The blue and white grille lights, intersection lights on the front.
Dave's been working hard to improve the effectiveness of the emergency system, and tonight he wants to see whether there are any operational issues.
It's really interesting for me to see the cars out there in action and seeing how effective they are on a dark road at night. So this car, Hyundai Beat car, at the moment you can see it's operating with its front blues on and what we call the headlight flash. We've got hideaway lights. So these are within the headlight cluster.
These ones are actually in the light cluster.
See? Sort of know what I'm talking about.
Sure you do, Dave. Now, you've told us what emergency vehicles look like, but what do they sound like?
Thank you. Yep, we use a 100-watt Whaler, which is incredibly loud, as you've just heard.
We're going to be going out on a variety of different roads because it's important that the drivers can drive in any conditions and any type of road. We've got 2 students on the course. One of them is a serving firefighter. The other one is a retired police officer. Right. 30 years service.
Look forward to seeing it.
Yes, it should be good.
It's been 5 years since 53-year-old Ian Causer has been on a blue light run, and a lot has changed.
Maybe he'll get a bit of a shock from when he last drove the marked police cars, because they have improved. Everything about the cars has got better.
But it's also got more complicated, especially when it comes to operating the emergency systems, as Ian is about to discover.
So we'll jump in the car in a moment. I'll get in the driving seat. I'll ask you two to get in the back seat, and then we'll do a demonstration drive for you. OK, jump in.
Pay attention, lads.
Over to the left-hand side are all the individual components. By activating the 999, what it will give us is the 360 blue lights. Will give us the headlight flashes. To activate the siren, we do a single press of the horn. That brings on the first tone, which is the wail. Press it again, that's the second tone, which is the yelp.
Let's be honest, who wouldn't love a go on those buttons?
OK, let's go.
There are 16 combinations of blue light and siren sounds, all of which must be mastered and correctly applied.
So 999 is activated, siren is on, checking the junctions to both sides. Anticipate the lights ahead could change to red. It's been a little while before we've been able to get through. So mirror check, tone change, braking for the ambulance. As we're in training, we'll let them go through. Mirror check and accelerating on. Fire engine coming from my offside, so mirror check.
Hang on, this is a blue light class, not a blue light convention. Meanwhile, Dave's got himself nicely in position.
We're only going to see them go past, but it'll give me an idea of the speed and what the lights look like at night, really, because, you know, I only ever see them really when they're static.
Accelerate onto a dual carriageway national speed limit.
Here they come, Dave.
Clear road ahead. Going under a footbridge, looking for anyone throwing items off the bridge.
Dave, don't even think about it.
Accelerating around the bend.
And the verdict is?
Yeah, really effective. I don't think they were over bright.
On a bridge, looking at police cars. Beats Wednesday night Zumba with the missus at the community centre.
Who doesn't love seeing a police car go underneath with its blue lights going and Whaler going? Fantastic.
It's a niche hobby, Dave, but I think it's proved you're in the right job. Having terrified the living daylights out of Ian and Andy, it's time for Kev to hand over the keys.
I'm not sure whose turn it is first, but if you'd like to jump in and make yourselves ready. Ian, it is.
Okay. Not exactly fighting over it, are they? For 53-year-old Ian, who hasn't driven a blue light run for years, this is his big chance to prove he's still got what it takes.
Well, looking ahead, it looks fairly clear. There's no solid white lines, so locate your 999 button. Give it a couple of seconds to illuminate everything, and then press the horn for the siren. A bit more distance, just brake a bit harder than them and slow right down. Just let them go. I would mirror check and move out and do some tone changes. Move out a bit more. Got the view, happy to come through there.
Ian not only has to drive at speed, he has to remember when to change the siren sounds and which one to select.
So really needs tone change. When we're going through these junctions, we want this tone for dealing with the junctions. Once you clear the junction and onto the next bit, use the tone that you're now on. So vehicle reacting up ahead, mirror check that the road marking's okay to pass.
Solid light.
Back off then. Back right off. Wait until they stop completely, look at the wheels. Wheels stop. Signal right. Take that gap. Well, thank you very much, Ian. Your call's been cancelled. So the first thing is slowing it down to the speed limit. Sirens off. Resuming normal patrol. How did that go for you?
I feel a bit drained now.
Based on that drive, what do you think you need to develop for next time?
Developmental areas next time is the tone change.
Quite often it's the change of tone that gets people's attention more than the actual tone itself.
Thanks very much for that, I enjoyed that. Thanks for the feedback, Andy.
That's great.
With a lot of work still to be done, does Ian feel the life of a response instructor is for him?
It was a bit of a light coming back on for me after my previous experience after 30 years in the police. It's quite mentally and physically draining.
He's had a 4-year break and there might be some cobwebs on there. He's actually done quite a solid first drive with only minor developmental points to pick up on.
A successful night for Ian and for Dave.
Coming away from the training session, it did make me think, you know, how important it is that we actually get out there and see the training happen. We need to know that the blue lights, Whalers and everything else are effective on the vehicles, because if they're not, it puts everyone at danger.
As dawn begins to break over Cheshire, the first of the county's 1 million residents begin their working day, oblivious to the criminal activity that's been taking place on their streets overnight. But in the vehicle maintenance unit, the evidence is plain to see.
Right, Dave. We have a further contestant to the Hoosey Row of Shame. Look at this.
Oh dear.
Having been dumped in the yard overnight, this wreck of a beat car is a mystery that John and Dave are just going to have to unravel.
It's absolutely and utterly finished.
Yeah.
Telltale signs, look at the roof.
Telltale signs, John. The bonnet's in the back seat.
Has it creased?
The light bar's higher than it used to be.
Yeah.
That's surplus to requirements now, that.
What did it hit?
Although John's not yet heard reports of any injuries, the windscreen has been crushed at head height.
What is interesting is no airbag deployment.
No.
That would tell you that this car's been stationary and been rammed.
Right.
A lot of the damage that we get on our cars is caused by other vehicles that run into us. And you'd be surprised, even with marked vehicles, how many other vehicles tend to run into us.
But it was deliberately rammed. What the hell ran into it? A tank?
Quite scary for the occupant of this vehicle, I should imagine.
Oh, I would have thought
thinking
so
it was
too.
going to come right over the top and potentially take your head off, but it looks like the vehicle's rear axle has
stopped at that point from going
hit
over.
the cylinder head,
Yeah.
and it stopped it going over. I can't see that one going back on the road again somehow.
For now, the real story behind the smashed-up beat car remains a mystery. Meanwhile, it's down to the mechanics to list the cost of repairs, which quickly confirm John's suspicions. His vehicle is indeed a write-off.
That car's dead, complete write-off. 12th one this year. It's got a repair estimate of £12,500. Marvellous. That's another one bites the dust, isn't it? Makes you wonder how we can keep up with it all, really.
What John doesn't yet know is that last night, an officer came perilously close to losing their life.
The Mitsubishi rammed my vehicle by reversing into it. And then the Shogun rammed my colleague's vehicle.
Completely totaled the front of 429's vehicle.
After forking out £7,000 and investing in 40 build hours,
Job done.
the first of the unmarked CSI vans is finally ready for John's forensic examination.
Here it is. Look at this beauty. That's just what we need, isn't it, eh? Lovely. Let's have a look. What's it like? Reversing camera. Perfect. Ooh. Beautiful. Fantastic.
Who'd have thought one man could get so excited about a white van?
God, I'm going to be so pleased with this. I'm so pleased with this.
I think he likes it.
Inside here, we've got charging points for kit that will be in here. Gosh, I'm really, really pleased with that. Fantastic. This is just what I asked for, OK? What we're looking at is a really professional storage system that works, it's functional, it's cleanable, it makes these guys' job really, really easy. Doesn't get better than that, does it?
Well, it's thumbs up from the boss. Let's get the sexy music going. It's farewell wreck of an overstuffed van. And hello, shiny new forensic superstar. The Ford Transit, governor of the streets, offering a generous 8.3 cubic metres of load space. At the rear, a functional, clean storage zone. An 8-drawer unit with Perspex drop-down fronts. A steel sliding drawer to house the crime scene stepping plate brings order to the chaos. On the near side, a dirty zone for storing shovels, boots and body bags. And easy access LED lighting for working at night. A sun and rain awning creates an improved working space, protects the kit and stops the CSI having to empty their wellies. And on the offside, an isolated storage zone designed to prevent contamination of vital crime scene evidence. At last, a forensic van fit to function as efficiently and effectively as the CSI team who drive it. And because it's unmarked, they've saved a few quid on the stickers. And the first lucky person to test drive the new wheels is head of Cheshire's forensic team, David Trussell.
This van is reading 9 miles, which is about 90,000 miles less than some of our other vans.
First thoughts, David?
New van is a marked improvement over the old vans.
A marked improvement?
Comfortable, it's got room, it's got heated seats. The derriere is as comfortable and as cuffed as it needs to be. Doesn't rattle as much as the old vans. Everything seems to be fixed down in the right way.
Rattles a little bit, though.
Good visibility.
Well, it will be when you've cleaned the windows.
We've used John's experience in terms of the right vehicle, delivering the right economy with the right space, usability, reliability.
Excitability?
I like the turning circle, almost like a London cab.
Almost, but no tips, I'm afraid, David. Having transferred all the kit into the new vehicle, does David like what he sees?
At the back of the van, you've got segregated storage areas. We'll be using specialist containers that will be able to slide in and out of these areas. Those containers can be easily cleaned to ensure that we deal with those risks around cross-contamination. We've got a huge area to put our crime scene tent, our ladders and our stepping plates so we don't end up stepping in huge puddles of blood.
So it's a big, fat, rubber-gloved thumbs up from David and a final farewell to the clapped-out Connects. It was good while it lasted.
Our old vans have given us a sterling service, but you don't need to be an expert to work out that they are well past their serviceable life. So we have used and abused them, and they have conveyed us for hundreds of thousands of miles throughout Cheshire. This is the next step, the next level.
This has been a great build. It's turned out just how we wanted. It looks fantastic. I'm sure it's going to make them really, really happy. Look, these guys and girls that do this job, they've got a really, really tough job. They can have some really, really grey days. It's just our pleasure to give them the right kit for the job. And I think that this will bring a lot of smiles.
But for every new vehicle that joins Cheshire's fleet, another one bites the dust. The total beat car that came in overnight has taken up a key position in John's row of shame.
It was just a quickie, really. Can you find that out and come back to me?
His inquiries prove his theory correct. The beat car was rammed by a stolen 4x4. And PC Simon Hiley was involved in the incident which put his colleague's life in danger. He's come to see the car in the cold light of day.
I've done this job a long time and I've seen quite a few collisions involving police cars. Yeah, that's severe, extensive damage. It's one of the worst that I've seen.
Simon's agreed to take us through a night shift he'll never forget.
Yeah, we've got a grade 1 just come in near to Fool's Nook Inn. It's coming as a report of suspicious activity, but by the looks of things, I believe a vehicle's been stolen.
We were responding to a report of a stolen Mitsubishi Shogun.
Would you be able to make it to the area and see if you can spot the vehicle?
The information came through from an ANPR hit that it was potentially in convoy with a Bentley Continental. The Bentley's just activated the ANPR.
With a number of patrol cars now closing in, it was only a matter of time before the police got a visual.
On Romeo 423, I think I've got these two vehicles in convoy on Dean Row Road heading towards Summerfield Village. When the vehicle was sighted, it went around a roundabout. They almost came to a complete stop. Trying to stop these vehicles on the app. But then the Bentley made off at speed and the Mitsubishi rammed my vehicle by reversing into it. 423 vehicle being rammed, Delta November 02, Ram Patrol. It's the first time it's happened to me. It is a shock, I'll be honest.
Simon, who'd come off relatively lightly, was about to get an even bigger shock as the 4x4 once again lined up and reversed at an even greater speed towards the next beat car.
And then the Shogun rammed my colleague's vehicle.
The 4x4 mounted the bonnet, the rear bumper bars stopping inches from his colleague's head.
Completely totaled the front of 429's vehicle. It's certainly a shock when you see the damage sustained to the extent that it did on his vehicle.
Only the tangle of engine metal prevented the 4x4 from passing completely through the windscreen.
The relief that I felt when he got out of the car and he was in one piece, I can't really measure that.
The officer, who was just 2 years into the job, escaped with minor injuries, but there are scars yet to heal.
Obviously, it's affected him psychologically, very traumatic for him. The what-ifs, you know, even though he's physically not badly injured, I think the psychological trauma affects you just as badly.
To the frustration of Cheshire Police, the car thieves escaped into the night, but investigations are continuing.
I think if nothing else, I think we prevented the criminals from carrying out a job that they intended to do, and I'm hopeful from the inquiries since then that we'll get a result in finding out who they were.
John, who's dealt with the aftermath of many similar incidents over the years.
Hi, Simon. You all right, mate?
Hi, John.
Is happy to try and help put the pieces together.
It's pretty horrific. Yeah. You don't see a lot of it in darkness. You just get the main, oh, it's very badly damaged, but yeah, seeing it here, yeah, just brings it home how badly damaged it is.
Because he's had his back wheels off the ground.
Yeah. It was almost like watching a magic trick. 1 minute the front of the police car's there, and the next minute it's gone and it's replaced by the 4x4, and he drives away, and then this is the result.
He weren't for coming in quietly, was he?
No, no.
We've looked at vehicles and thought, my God, how did someone get out of that and survive? We're just happy that the safety rating on cars is so good nowadays. Luckily, it looks worse than the final result, pal.
Yeah. It was quite horrific to watch. Thankfully, it's not the norm. And I hope I don't experience it again in the rest of my career.
I hope your colleague is feeling better enough to get back into the front line soon. The guys and girls that do this job, frontline policing, are the real heroes in this. They're putting their lives on the line to make us all safe.